This is a true story that they put out.
Yes.
It was a true story. You can get the DVD now. It's called A Fourth Time with Mila Jovovich. You know, she's played in all the Resident Evil movies and stuff, in The Fifth Element. Anyway, this is a real movie on real experiences that happened in early 2000s, like 2000. And these people would hear these things, they'd get abducted, they would go crazy, they'd kill themselves. But they was hearing this language, and they called a black man who had studied Sumerian languages when he would translate what was coming out of these people's mouth. They never got to the bottom of it, but it was these abductions. This is what the deal here is. Now, this is the key, because I've had arguments with people on this. Those abductions are done by the American government or the world government or the people who are the conspirators that rule the world. And those abductions, because real aliens or real spirit beings don't have to abduct nobody. And why is it that all the abductees are mostly white? See, they so racist until they can't even try to say, well, we need to put some black people up in here, pay some black people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
To make this thing. Because they already know. All these black people, we the original people on earth. All these black people walking around, you ain't heard no black people being abducted. And if they are, they're under some government experiment. So these are government experiments that was taken out by the government. They even go as far as put on the spaceship, the spacesuits. We saw that in the movie Fire in the Sky. Now, why would they go through this painstaking thing? So they had all these abduction things that they did, but this movie came out, and they literally showed you that this thing could be true. But what they didn't tell you, it was the government was literally going in Alaska and abducting these people and giving them this Sumerian language. Because, see, all the other abductions, you go, well, where are they from? So they're giving you this Sumerian language and stuff. This was the government doing this. Now, this is the key. This is all put together for one reason, to take it off of who the true aliens are. And I'm getting ready to break this great mystery, and we're going to put this to bed, but it's going to be a revelation for us. It's going to be a revelation for us from now on. We're getting ready to solve the extraterrestrial problem tonight. I argued that you can go out in the street, and if you know what to look at, you can see the spaceships. But I argue that they're not physical. They look like pulsating little orange greens and different aspects. They look like pulsating lights. That is what the true spaceships are. And I told you we got to document it when I was up in Brooklyn at the Slave Theater, and I told the people that the spaceship was going to appear. And this was early in my career. If E.T. didn't show up, I wouldn't be lecturing today, because them niggas from New York, I never heard the end of it. They ever wrote rap songs about my ass if E.T. didn't show up. But it did show up right over the Slave Theater, and we got the people in Harlem on the tape, on the actual tape. We even got the people in Harlem bearing witness the second night in Harlem, bearing witness that the Sister Burt had put on, bearing witness that those ships did appear. Now, this is the key. Those ships are not physical. They are spiritual. They are spiritual, but you have to know exactly what they are. There was a pole shift with the Haitian thing. There's a pole shift. But the pole shift just is nothing but the Earth's Kundalini. Just as there's a pole shift that is the Earth's Kundalini, there's a pole shift in us, a Kundalini shift in us. Is a Kundalini shift in us. Now, then, what are the UFOs? When the pole shift happened, there was a resurrection of the Haitian spirits, and they had a conversion of those spirits with the God spirits. That happened with that particular thing, and you can go online and see the lecture where we did that ceremony with the God spirits. What the UFOs are is none other than the chakras in your body. Now try to understand this. whenever you die, or whenever most of the people die, they're unenlightened. So their chakras don't shine because of the simple fact they haven't been enlightened on earth. When you get to a certain level of enlightenment, you radiate and you pulsate. As a matter of fact, I'll guarantee you this right now, if you could lay down real quiet, some of the people that's been in this for a minute, and you can hear a rotation in your chest. Oh, you will think you'll first get scared and think it's palpitation. You go to the hospital, they won't be able to find nothing. Yes. You'll hear this rotation in your chest. These are the actual chakra system. Now, let's say a person as myself that has given up career and given up everything to know the universe and to know everything that I can finally know, run after this particular knowledge, and became enlightened in my lifetime. Some bodhisattva or somebody who went through certain things and became enlightened. When we die, you could go outside and see a pulsating chakra. The chakra systems in our body are none other than those spaceships out there. So whenever you see, so they got to tell you about the physical spaceships that they've been trying to put past a man-made UFOs from 1947 up until now, Area 51, to camouflage the aspect and to give you a distraction of the real spaceships. So whenever you see the real spaceships, they are pulsating chakras of enlightened beings who have made the transition, and they were enlightened at a certain level until those chakras that pulsate in the body pulsate in the atmosphere, in the universe. You see what I'm saying? So the Ascended Masters are nothing but the chakras that they call UFOs. Let's put it this way. The UFOs that the people see strange lights in the skies is nothing but the pulsating chakras of Ascended Masters. Now, I'm going to read something to you. Okay. Right quick. You got Aleister Crowley, the great occultist, died in 1947. Before he died, a guy in his 20s sat under his feet and became the head of the OTO, and later on was excommunicated from the OTO because he basically took, OTO is actually Crowley's system, and basically he started writing a series of books in the 1970s. The first book from the 1970s is called Magical Revival, and he wrote a series of books. He wrote 9 books from 1970 to 2003. First book is called The Magical Revival. Last book is Ninth Arch. He wrote 9 books, and they excommunicated him. He is the persona non grata of the occult world, but he's the greatest occultist of modern times. His name is Kenneth Grant, and the reason why they ostracize him because he dare say that all this shit was black and all this shit was African. Basically. The same excommunication they did and shutdown of Gerald Massey from 1907, and this guy was a Masseyite, and he said the entire cult world and all of this stuff goes back to black, or goes back to African, or goes back to the indigenous people around the world, not the continent of Africa, just so happened to be the original people being black. Even your original Aryans were black. You know, the white area is only a 1930s invention. But I want to read something to you. Of what he's trying to explain about the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is associated with changing colors. The Grail is a shallow disc or a saucer that is significant. That type of the goddess is the disc, the whirling wheel that spins when the Akashic current, which is the chakra, is a mauve zone, is magically activated. The red, orange, and scarlet colors are predominantly. Now, get this right. I want you to say he's stating something here that is unbelievable. The red, orange, and scarlet colors predominant in UFO sightings and in Babylon, the Scarlet Woman, The Scarlet Woman is the goddess where all stuff is given, all power is given. And it says, some initiates like Michael Bertio, Michael Bertio, he wrote the book, the Vodun Gnostic Workbook, sees the UFO phenomenon as an expression, as a basic chakra, the phenomenal space goddess called Aditi is a dynamic form of what is called Hadit. Now, Hadit is the Hadit point in Crowley's mythology is the black dot. Hadit, it says Nut. And then they say Hadit is the manifestation of Nut. So Nut is the great mother. The winged disc, the black dot Hadit is her manifestation. The UFOs, this is what it says. The UFOs sometimes comes from the sky. The Grail is also said to come from the sky. It's the